Objectives of this lesson are to learn about the most important list manipulation methods. That is, learn how to insert an item into a list, learn how to append an item into a list, and how to remove an item from a list. So, what is a method, and what is the difference between a method and a function? A method is basically a function which is written for a specific object. Since we have not covered the concept of object-oriented programming, then the only thing that you need to know at this time is to use a method. You write the name of the object, put a dot after it, and then write the name of the method. You can think of a method as an action which an object can take. For example, if your object is a dog, then there are a few actions it can take. You can say dog.run. In that case, dog is the name of the object, and you put a dot, and run is a method for that object. Remember that if your object is, for example, a tree, there is no method run for the tree. Since methods are like functions, you can also pass some arguments to them. For example, you can say dog.run, and in parentheses you can say fast. That basically means you are telling the dog object to run fast. This concept also applies to objects in programming. For example, when you have a list, there are some methods that you can do with the list. You can say the name of the list dot sort, and that's obvious that what you want to do. You want to sort your list. Or you can say the name of your list and put a dot and just say append. That basically means I want to add an item to the end of the list. Here is a table of most common list methods. I should mention that there are many other methods. However, these are the ones which are often used. The first one is insert method, which inserts an item at a given position. The second one is append method, which adds an item to the end of the list. The next one is the remove method, that removes an item from the list. The next one is the pop method, which extracts an item from a list and brings it back to you. There are other methods, but I'm only going to cover the first 4 methods. Let me show you all these examples in Python environment. Here I am creating a list with 4 elements, being dog, cat, tree, and 4.5. Next, I am going to insert an item into the list. To insert an item into the list, you have to give him 2 things. The first one is which position you want to insert the item, and second, what is the value of that item. In this example, I am inserting the item bird at position 1. So when I print the list again, you see that the bird has been inserted in the position 1. Again, remember the first index is 0. The next method is the append. All you have to do is put the name of the list with the dot and append. And of course you have to say what is it that you want to append to it. In this case, I'm appending a mouse, and since append always appends item at the end of the list, there is no reason to give it a position. And you can see the mouse has been appended to the end of the list. There is another method called pop. The pop method takes an item out of the list and returns it to you. You have to remember, when you pop an item, that item is taken out of the list and given to you. When I'm asking Python to pop item 2, of course it goes and takes item 2, which is cat, out of the list, and if I print the list again, notice that the item cat is gone. The next method is remove. The remove method removes an item. However, the difference between remove and pop is that in the pop method you give the index of the item that you want to pop out. In the remove method you actually have to give the item itself. The other difference is when you pop an item, the method actually takes that item and returns that item to you. However, the remove item does not return an item to you, it just simply removes it. You also should notice that if you try to remove an item which does not exist in a list, then you will get an error. What did you learn in this lesson? You learned how to insert an item into a list. You learned how to append an item to a list. you learned how to remove an item from a list using the index of the item, and you learned how to remove an item from a list using the value of the item.